Hey guys, Mosa here, and today I'm bringing you my Week 16 Sunday Night Football predictions between the Dallas Cowboys and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, without a further ado, let's get started. Now, let's kick it off with the injury report of the Dallas Cowboys, starting with cornerback Trevon Diggs, who is out with a knee injury. Then moving on to guard TJ Bass with a thigh injury, linebacker Eric Kendricks with a calf injury, linebacker Nick Vigil with a foot injury, cornerback Jordan Lewis with an elbow injury, and safety Wanye Thomas, I think that's how you say it, with a knee injury, all questionable for the game. Moving on to guard Chuma Odoba with an ankle injury, defensive tackle Mossy Smith with a back injury, safety Malik Hooker with an ankle injury, wide receiver CeeDee Lamb with a shoulder injury, safety Donovan Wilson with an elbow injury, guard Cooper Bebe with a concussion, running back Rico Dowell with a knee injury, offensive lineman Tyler Smith with an ankle injury, and wide receiver Jalen Brooks with a knee injury. Now, when it comes down to it, honestly, I think that this team's going to have a big problem on the defense. The offense is not as badly injured as obviously as the defense. And honestly, the Cowboys are eliminated from playoff contention, so it's not really that big of a deal. I don't know if they have been eliminated yet or if they have. Regardless, it's not that big of a deal anymore for them. Besides the point. The point for me is that the Dallas Cowboys definitely will have issues on both sides, but their defense is the one that's going to struggle the most. Now, moving on to the Cowboys offense, we got quarterback Cooper Rush, running back Rico Dowell, wide receiver CeeDee Lamb, Brandon Cooks, and Jalen Tolbert, tight end Jake Ferguson, fullback Hunter Lupecki, left tackle Chuma Ogdogba. I don't know if that's how you say it, but okay. Then we get Tyler Smith at left guard, center Cooper Bebe, right guard Brock Hoffman, and right tackle Terrence Steele. Now, when it comes to this offensive line, it has been not the best. Honestly, Dallas has had the best offensive line for few years now. This year is not one of them. But yeah, I'm thinking that they're going to be letting a few sacks on Cooper Rush today. Holes aren't going to open as good as they should for Rico Dowell. So yeah, besides that, you also got tight end Ferguson. You got CeeDee Lamb and Brandon Cooks and Jalen Tolbert. Maybe even some Devontae Turpin as receiving options for Cooper Rush. And obviously Rico Dowell in the backfield as the star running back has been pretty good for the Cowboys, but still, that might not help you against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, moving on to the defense of the Cowboys, we got defensive end Chauncey Golston, defensive end Micah Parsons, defensive tackles Mozzie Smith and Oza Odigizua. I don't know if that's how you say it, but then we get to weak side linebacker Nick Vigil, but if he cannot go, Damian Clark will take over. Eric Kendricks will be the inside linebacker, but if he cannot go, Buddy Johnson will take over. Then strong side linebacker Maurice Liufa, I don't know if that's how you say it, but cornerback Deron Bland and Amani Oruwari. These names are super hard, to be honest. Then nickelback will be Jordan Lewis, but if Lewis cannot go, Himon Hall will take over. Malik Hooker will be the starting free safety, and Donovan Wilson, the strong safety. Now, when it comes down to the Dallas Cowboys defense, they are massively injured, and there's even rumors that Parsons might also not play due to injury, so there's that as well. Like, this defense has been heavily injured. They've been winning some games, but like against the New York Giants and stuff like that. But against the Bucs, it's going to be a different game going up against Baker Mayfield, Mike Evans, and others. So, realistically, I'm seeing this as a struggle for the Cowboy defense. Now, moving on to the Buccaneers injury report, starting with wide receiver Cameron Johnston, who is out with an ankle injury, alongside Cade Otton, tight end, with a knee injury, and safety Antoine Winfield Jr. with a knee injury as well. Now we move on to linebacker KJ Wright, who has an ankle injury and is doubtful for the game, and safety Mike Edwards, who has a hamstring injury and is questionable for the game. Then moving on to defensive lineman William Golston with a knee injury, Logan Hall, defensive lineman, with a shoulder and wrist injury. Then we move on to running back Bucky Irving, who has a back and hip injury, safety Christian Eisen with a groin injury, Baker Mayfield with a knee injury, wide receiver Sterling Shepard with a foot injury, safety Tyke Smith with a knee injury, tackle Christian Wirfs with a foot and knee injury, and wide receiver Trey Palmer with an illness. Now, when it comes to the injury report of the Buccaneers, honestly, losing Cameron Johnson, not that big of a deal. Losing Cade Otton is, and Antoine Winfield Jr. as well. Losing one of your top tight ends and your top safety, that's going to be heavy on them. And then you get the other potential loss of your top safety, Mike Edwards, and KJ Britt most likely not playing in this game, which I believe Mike will make it, but KJ will not. Then you get obviously all the other players who are injured but are going to play in this game. Now, will their injuries resurface? I don't think so, but right now I'm thinking the defense is really the one that's going to suffer due to injuries. Now, on to the starting offense of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We got quarterback Baker Mayfield, running back Bucky Irvin, wide receivers Mike Evans, Jalen McMillan, and Sterling Shepard. Then moving on to tight end Payne Durham, I think that's how you say it. And Tristan Wirfs will be the left tackle, left guard Ben Betterson. Center will be Graham Barton. Right guard will be Cody Mott. And Luke Godek, I don't know if that's how you say it, will be the starting right tackle. Now, when it comes to this offensive line, I honestly think they'll do a very decent job. If Parsons is there, obviously it's going to be a lot more difficult. But otherwise, they'll do a decent job against the front seven of the Dallas Cowboys. But regardless of that, they also got Mike Evans and Bucky Irvin in that backfield. Mike Evans, obviously a top wide receiver. And obviously Jalen McMillan and Sterling Shepard are just like fill-up back receivers. Obviously, they lost for the season a long time ago their other receiver, which is Chris Godwin. Godwin. And then, obviously, you got Baker Mayfield. Will Mayfield be able to make the throws he needs to make? And I think he might. This is the Cowboys defense who is going to be struggling this year. And honestly, I think it's going to be a decent time for the Tampa Bay Buccaneer offense. Now, moving on to the defense of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, we got defensive ends Elijah Cansey and Logan Hall. Nose tackle Vita Vea, weak side linebacker Yaya Diaby. KJ Britt will be the starting inside linebacker along with Levante David. But if Britt cannot go, V. Jones will take over. Then we move on to strong side linebacker Joe Chiron Shawinka. And cornerbacks will be Jamel Dean and Zion McCollum. I think that's how you say it. Obviously, we got Tyke Smith at nickelback. Free safety, Kayvon Merriweather. And Mike Edwards at strong safety. But if Edwards cannot go, then we get Christian Eisen coming in for him. Now, when it comes down to it, honestly, I believe that we're going to be seeing a problematic defense from the Buccaneers. But honestly, they're still facing off against the Cowboys, so it's not going to be that big of an issue. So as long as they can stop the run by Dowell, I think they got the game sorted. Yes, they got good receivers like CeeDee Lamb. And honestly, maybe you'll get a few passes downfield by Cooper Rush for him. But I still believe that the Buccaneers defense will be able to stop them because the Cowboys offense is not as good as years prior. And without Dak Prescott, I highly doubt that they would do anything in the air or mostly anything in the air with Cooper Rush. Now, in conclusion, I have this game ending 16-30 in favor of the Buccaneers. I think that Tampa is going to just outscore. Like, from start to finish, they're going to outscore the Dallas Cowboys. And honestly, if it wasn't for the Dallas Cowboys, honestly, their collapse as a team this year, and obviously all the injuries and the fact that Jerry Jones didn't do anything in the offseason, I would have given them a chance. But first, you're possibly not even fighting with the playoffs at this point anymore when it comes to the Cowboys, while the Buccaneers are fighting for that division title. I highly doubt they'll lose this game, and whether or not the Cowboys have clinched a playoff spot, which is highly improbable, or even have been eliminated at this point, it doesn't really matter. Because in the end, Cowboys will be eliminated from playoff contention, while the Bucs will try their best to get back into the playoffs. Now that was it for this video. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below. Tweet me any video ideas. Also tell me down in the comments below, who do you think is going to win, the Cowboys or the Buccaneers? Tell me down in the comments below. Now, like this video if you liked it, subscribe, and hit the notification if you want more videos. And I'll see you guys next time.